Charge.
And we're back for another Closers by Committee. Yeah, it kind of flashbacks to the old Oregon at Great American Ballpark, and
got a little electric guitar in there though too.
Yeah, it's bitchin'. That's put together by our commander Rob at the ASN Network. But so we're back to we're going to dive right into it. We're right in the middle of the World Baseball Classic. In fact, they're playing the championship game right now. It's 1-0 Venezuela.
More important, that's good. But more importantly than that, it is 5 days and 2 hours until our keepers and cuts are due.
Right. That shit crept up on me. I was like, oh my God. Because I still don't know. I went through it the other day, and it's like, well, that's too much money. I'm taking on too much water. But there's a whole hell of a lot of talent there too. I've got like Juan Soto, Perdomo, James Wood.
You want to know who I got you keeping?
Yeah, go ahead and tell me who I'm keeping.
I got you keeping 8 guys.
Okay.
Joey Bart, Geraldo Perdomo, James Wood, Miguel Amaya, Logan Webb, Kevin Ginkel, Nick Pivetta, and Chris Sale.
Close. There's one big enchilada there, though, that's missing.
Yeah.
The right fielder of the New York Mets.
You keeping Soto at 47?
I think I am, yeah. It's hard to imagine him exceeding that number. I don't know, but there's not... there'll be a dearth of talent behind him, but it's just, I don't know. Yeah, it is a big number.
If he runs again, I mean, maybe.
Right.
He's got one of the biggest discrepancies between the tout wars and labor prices.
Right. We'll get into that here in a bit when we go to the bottom of the third. But for right now, it's the opener. That's the clever little intro I've come up with. Opener. Yeah, here we go. So the WBC, this is the news, right?
Hold on, time for the bulk reliever.
The bulk, right. He's only pitching to one batter. Now they're playing matchups on that. But no, they can't even do that anymore, right? You got to pitch to 2 batters at least.
Yeah, pitch to 3.
3, right? But USA versus Venezuela is going on right now. Nolan McLean versus Eduardo Rodriguez. Right now it's 1-0 Venezuela. So it's funny how that shakes out, right? We got like a real world matchup here.
Yeah.
Venezuela wins this one. It's going to be Katie barred the door, I guess. But if
Trump's already trying to take credit. He's hedging his bets.
Yeah. I wonder if he has anybody staged to crash that party if the USA wins that. I hope not. That would be quite demoralizing. But Venezuela defeated Italy 4-2 to get into this game. Italy had upset the United States because Mark DeRosa made a huge misstep last week when he assumed that he did not need to win the 4th game of their the first round of the WBC. He set a bunch of guys and figured out in about the 7th inning that he needed to accumulate. There's a lot of rules with the tiebreakers. You're playing that short of a series. You got to have all these tiebreakers built into it and everything. He didn't account for any of that. And the United States did rally to score enough runs to qualify for some things, even if the rest of the tournament didn't shake out. But it was touch and go there. It was a pretty big guffaw. There were people that wanted to not only fire him from Team USA, but the MLB Network for that. I'm like, well, I might cut him some slack in his day job.
Yeah, they need a baseball bullshitter. I mean,
right. They don't have enough of them with Greg Amsinger, and he's the one guy that mouthed it roared from New York.
No, he's gone.
Chris.
Yeah, Mad Dog.
Gone? Mad Dog. Yeah. I didn't know he was gone. But he's over on ESPN now, right? Or he was.
I don't know where he went after MLB.
Yeah. Well, baseball wasn't his only gig. But anyway, they'll finish that game after we're done, so we don't know who's going to win the WBC at this point. But there's some other news that's going on. Spring training, they're wrapping up their schedule, waiting for their players to come back from the WBC. The Guardians sent top prospect Travis Bazzana back to AAA. There was some overtures that he might make the team. He was the #1 draft pick in 2024 overall, second baseman. He's got a great future, but he's going to have to wait a little bit. So,
yeah.
You got a feel
Almost
for him?
all the transactions right now are people being sent to the minors.
Yeah. Now, is he one of these guys? Do you think the Guardians don't usually play cheapskate, right? I mean, do you think they're sending him back just to get his because of his eligibility?
I don't know their team situation. Maybe he's the only one with options in a certain situation or something. Who knows?
Right. But he'll probably be up at some point. That's quite the rise.
Seems like, yeah.
Better news for Kevin McGonigal. He seems to be making the Tigers out of spring training as their starting shortstop. He's another huge American League. Throwing my love to the American League here. Shortstop. If you've got a mixed league or an AL only league, he'd probably be a good target even in a mixed league, wouldn't you think? I mean,
sure.
And we got the Lebowski draft coming up. He'll probably be taken, I would imagine, in that one.
I'm the commissioner of that league, and I don't even know I know it's a Friday. It must be this Friday.
It better be this Friday. It's like the last Friday. Yeah, it is Friday.
Yowza.
I don't know the time, but
I think it's this same bat time we're at, same bat channel.
Well, have no fear. It'll auto draft for you if you're not there.
Yeah.
You probably don't want that. But, Jordan Lawler has probably made the Diamondbacks as their starting center fielder. They're going to shift Alec Thomas to left. There's talk of even when Lourdes Gurriel comes back from his injury, he may be pressed into DH duties. And so maybe Lawler is up to stay finally. He's finally found his niche.
Do you know when Gurriel's due back?
I think June or so, I think. So he'll get quite an extended look before, he'll get a chance here. For the first time he's really gotten a chance. Talking about Lawler with the Diamondbacks. They've always, they've had Perdomo, they've had Gino Suarez, that has kind of blocked his path. Another pretty good prospect, Jet Williams, has a very good future with the Brewers. He got sent back for a little more seasoning. I'd say he's probably the only thing standing between him and playing time is Ortiz, the shortstop Ortiz, which he's a solid major league player, but he's, he could be viewed as like a middle infielder, bench guy.
Is that Joey?
Yeah, Joey Ortiz. Not a bad little player at all, but Justin Crawford, this is no surprise. He's been touted as the Phillies center fielder for all of spring training, and it looks like he'll enter the season that way. Although he has a nagging injury right now. I'm not sure what that is. But he's a little bit more of a tantalizing prospect than like Josh Rojas. They got a little bit more offensive upside there in center field with Crawford, I think. The Cardinals, in their attempt to solve their outfield issues, may be turning to a veteran named Nelson Velasquez, who has pretty good power. Not necessarily non-base machine or anything, but might put up some numbers.
Cardinals are going to suck.
Yeah, they are. I almost said unfortunately, but no, not unfortunately at all. That's fucking awesome, really. Sorry if I start to snort when I laugh when I talk about the Cardinals' misery. But they put us through plenty. Yamamoto will get the ball for the Dodgers on opening day. I guess that's not a big stunner. Zach Wheeler is finally facing hitters, and his rehabilitation from thoracic outlet syndrome surgery. Is that how you pronounce it?
Yep.
Yeah.
He's got the less serious one. He's got the one Merrill Kelly had, not the one that the Dark Knight had.
I tell you what, man. A couple of years ago, that guy was as far as my money goes, he was the best starting pitcher in the National League. Zach Wheeler. I went and watched the Reds face him on a businessman special. It lasted about an hour and 45 minutes. He just went out there and just blew him away.
I love those quick games.
Yeah. It's funny how those games always get resolved in less than 2 hours on getaway day.
Yeah.
If it's Tuesday night, they might go 12 innings or whatever, 3 hours. But not so good news for Hunter Green and the Reds. He had some loose chips in his elbow that had to get surgically cleaned up. Unfortunately, he had this last season and did nothing.
Bone spurs and loose bodies.
Yeah. He had this all winter, and the Reds, they didn't do anything. I don't know. It would have been nice if they got on that a little bit, ahead of that a little bit, because he's very integral to their success going into the season. Speaking of the Reds, Matt McClain has been named second. He'll be batting second. I don't know. Normally, you just name a guy's a position. I know you're not a huge Matt McClain fan. I still have some hope.
Batting second? You put your best hitter at second, man.
Yeah, well, he's tearing it up this spring. But yeah, I feel like you got to give him a little bit of a mulligan for last season, although it was an extended look. It wasn't pretty.
Last season plus.
Yeah. I see that these guys that had the hamate bone injury, they seem to be coming around as predicted. Jackson Holliday's about ready to resume hitting. Corbin Carroll's been playing. So they had that pegged, that those guys, the hamate bone rash that beset the league early on seems to be finally resolving itself. Unfortunately, Chicago White Sox righty Matt Basil will have to have Tommy John surgery. Man, I make more notes than I really accounted for. But that's a big blow to the White Sox.
That's right. I didn't pick a bullpen.
You didn't? Okay. Well, we could talk about the two that I brought to the table. I think they're interesting. That's the reason I picked. I'm always like, that's the one problem we have.
I ran out of interesting bullpens, unless you want to talk about like good bullpens.
Yeah. I figured on one of these we would talk about all the bullpens that are basically settled. We say we're not going to talk about Dodgers. We're not going to talk about the Mets. We're not going to talk about any team. The Braves are kind of interesting. They get a little bit of a drama there. One huge thing, Seiya Suzuki suffered a knee injury during the WBC. That's like the worst nightmare. I haven't heard any MRI. I know he went for an MRI. But the Cubs are kind of holding their breath because he's a very critical hitter in the middle of their lineup.
I think Eno Saris was describing it. He said it looked like he hit his face in the dirt almost.
Oh, wow.
But that he kind of just banged his knee on the ground. And he thought it probably was just a bruise.
Yeah. Well, that's a bad look, though. Insult to injury, kind of.
Yeah. It's a bad head first slide.
So really, he was attempting a slide, and oh man,
it ended up with almost face first slide.
He tried to pull a Pete Rose and wound up
exactly.
pulling a Charlie Brown.
Yeah, you got to lose the hat if you're going to do a Pete Rose.
Yeah. Did you hear about this, Aaron? They're trying to, we got the was it the ABS, the balls and strikes innovation that's coming to baseball, where you'll have an appeal for a strike call. That's coming this season. Well, another one that they're piloting is a check swing rule that will allow a pitcher, catcher, or batter to challenge an umpire's ruling on a check swing. And the bat tracking technology is similar to the ABS system in that it uses, I want to say radar, but I don't know if it's is it radar, RF? I don't know what the hell it is. But
I thought it was a bunch of cameras. I don't know.
Just cameras? I thought there were sensors. I don't know either.
I don't know how it works.
But the way I read it described is the point to determine is if the bat head ever achieves a 45-degree angle from the handle during an attempted check swing. In other words, I guess your hands are the axle or whatever, and if the
So
handle,
if you don't break your wrists, it's not a swing.
yeah, I think it's still the same rule if you don't break your wrist, but this is how they technically describe it. So we'll see.
What if you don't break your wrist, but you just rotate your body?
Yeah, good point. I don't know. I would think that would be a strike. Yeah, if it comes across the plate, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But
even if it doesn't.
Right. Do you feel like that these things, they're innovations? Baseball is constantly making itself more perfect, right? Trying to play the game more perfect. Do you ever feel like that's taking some of the piss out of the game?
Not yet.
Mm-hmm.
So far, I like all the rule changes except the zombie runner and extra innings.
Well, they continue to try to encourage base running.
Mm-hmm.
They're talking about, larger. I think the bases are already larger, but they're talking about a rule where they take second base and move it in about 9 inches towards the pitcher, so that it's not a perfect square diamond anymore. It's more of a diamond, in order to encourage more base stealing.
I don't know if they need to encourage any more base stealing than they already have.
Right. But do you ever get tired? I mean, do you ever get nostalgic for seeing a manager come out and, rip up his hat or kick dust on an umpire's shoes or anything?
No, nobody does it like the old guys did, Earl Weaver and Billy Martin, Lou Piniella.
Right. That's a good point. Well, that's pretty much all my baseball news. I don't want to spend all our time in baseball news because we got some good stuff to talk about here.
Is Aaron Boone on his way to career record for ejections for a manager, I think?
Is he?
Yeah.
He's still doing it, huh?
Still getting ejected?
Yeah. That's crazy because nobody else, everybody else is like all stoic and, all the, like I said, all the piss has been taken out of the game. Managers are all analytical and everything, all the decisions are being made out of the front office anyway. Mm-hmm. Aaron Boone still gets this. But you remember when we had Bell, and Bell would have that stoic face on in front of the cameras and stuff, and then he'd go out on the field and lose his shit. He's about the last like real red ass manager that I can think of. Like there are no Earl Weavers or Lou Piniellas or anything like that anymore.
Mm-hmm.
But our friend Sean would be like, that's a good change. Get all the lunatics out of baseball. But,
yeah, but I think even he's a little nostalgic for the Lou Piniellas and Earl Weavers.
Yeah, there's nothing like that night when Piniella came and dug up first base, threw it down the line.
It's classic.
Yeah, picked it up again and threw it again down the line.
And then there was the Rob Dibble fight in the locker room with Piniella.
Right. You don't want to be treated like a man. And Lou got him in a headlock and was like, just like doing the Nolan Ryan on him, like
Fuck yeah.
Ryan. Yeah, that was awesome.
Sweet Lou.
Yeah, that was fun. Baseball was fun back then. It's not that it's not fun anymore, but it had a little bit of professional wrestling to it at one time. So, but here we are at the bottom of the third.
Oh. WBC stuff still. Okay. I've heard about the Cal Raleigh, Randy Arozarena sort of, I guess Raleigh gets all stoic and won't acknowledge his teammates at the plate. Do you know anything about this story?
I've heard about it, but it's so weird. I was like, what the hell? What's going on? I had no idea. Why would he diss his teammates like that?
Yeah, it's something I guess that Team USA all agreed they'd do.
Really?
But it's yeah.
Okay. Really? That's interesting. So Raleigh's obviously Team USA, and
Then I think somebody from Team Canada a few days later did sort of the same thing to see if he'd get the same treatment, and he did.
Interesting. Oh, well, maybe there's something to that. Maybe there's some, dare I say, politics or something going behind the scenes or whatever. Or just, or maybe it's just, we're serious about winning this thing, and we're playing for keeps or something or whatever. Give them the benefit
We're serious about winning this thing. We're gonna rest some guys.
Right. Their own manager kind of blew that all to hell, didn't he?
He did.
Yeah, that's funny. It's funny, but I mean, we've all okay. Yes, I've made mistakes at work. You make mistakes, and you feel like, well, all you can do is learn from it and do better. So I'm kind of in the camp of giving them a little bit of a break. But it's pretty funny when you think about it. Kind of bringing that element to it.
Yeah, Boone's in second place with 46 ejections. The only one ahead of him, is Terry Francona with 54.
Interesting. Wow. It seemed like he got hot a couple
three times as many seasons.
Huh. Yeah, it seems like
it seems like versus 24.
I do recall Francona getting a little hot under the collar a couple times and spitting some tobacco juice out at the ump, and everything. But nothing like back in the day when you could.
No, I'm thinking of back in the day when he was managing like the Red Sox.
Yeah. Well, a lot of times the umpire, they won't even let them get out onto the field. They'll throw them out of the game from, because they're giving them shit behind the plate. Mm-hmm. And of course, then they come out. Then they come out and get in their face. Mm-hmm. Anyway, so it's 2-0 Venezuela now.
All right.
Yeah. Well, here we go. Bottom of the third. And so this is our.
If they win, they don't have to become the 51st state.
Yeah, right. They got a little skin in the game today, I guess. So here's our rotisserie segment, bottom of the third. This last weekend they had the Tout Wars draft. That followed, or the LABR draft was a couple weekends ago. So we have a little bit more data of what some of the experts in rotisserie baseball.
We only pay attention to the NL only of those because they most closely correspond with our own league.
Right. Kind of get a gauge for what the values of our players will be in our draft. So Aaron, you've created a sheet. I want to share that sheet out that we can check out some of these values, and maybe you can explain your formulas.
Well, they're not formulas so much. I just punched in the numbers that they published for LABR and Tout.
Well, you did do some simple math. You added the two values together.
I added them together and sorted descending by that, just so you can see the top guys at the top.
Let me maximize. If I maximize that, that's going to be a little better to read on our podcast here. So, we can see right here at the top, Shohei Ohtani, no surprise, the most valuable. Go ahead.
Yeah, I don't know why he's only 45 in LABR, but it seems like he's both pitcher and hitter there.
Yeah.
70 in Tout Wars. I'm going to have him for 61 for the next 3 years.
Right. Going to make everybody miserable with that. So.
Yeah, fuck him. Then,
So you've got this draft strategy that probably makes a lot of sense if you can pull it off, and that's you've got two very expensive players here, and then you have almost all your rest of your roster are $1 players.
Well, entirely all the rest of my roster is going to be $1 players until the draft.
Right.
So it'll be Ohtani, Acuna, and 8 $1 guys.
But there are some good guys. There's like Stowers is in there. You got the closer for the Pirates. You've got I thought you had Pagan, but I guess you don't have Pagan.
No, I was in Lebowski.
Okay.
But I got two of the Cardinals starting rotation for what that's worth for $1 each. Liberatore and Palante.
Yeah. Well, Liberatore, that's a quality $1 pitcher for sure.
Yeah.
And Palante could.
Alex Vessier and Robert Gasser each for $1.
Yep. So so in other words, for people who are wondering, that will give you two elite, two of the top 3 players in the league, at least position players, or I guess just players.
Yeah,
basically.
players, because Ohtani's a pitcher too.
But it'll leave you plenty of money on draft day to fill out the rest of your roster. So
yeah, Ohtani's a 9-category stud.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, right.
And up until now, we've only ever had 8 categories. We're moving to 10.
Right, we're going 5 by 5 after I heard a fantasy expert this morning on rates and barrels, and he was introducing all these different formats. One of them was called Best Ball. I had no idea what he was talking about, but it was like you would draft.
Do it every month.
Yeah.
Yeah, that seems a little weird.
I mean,
be a lot less satisfying to win a 1-month-long season.
I think so, but they love drafting so much.
Oh,
I guess.
maybe, it's you compile all the draft scores together. Yeah, that'd be interesting.
Yeah.
Dope.
But so we got the aggregate score, or the aggregate sum of what these 2 expert drafts valued, but you might value one of these expert drafts over the other.
Yeah,
I'm not sure what I would.
Should have divided that by 2.
Yeah, well, it's still.
I still can.
It's still good gauge though.
Yeah.
The idea is this is the real cost in our league that these players are currently locked in at, and as you can see, for every bid in these expert league that's over what we have them for in our league, that's a value. That's a plus. That's a player you might want to keep. If it gets to a point where we got $66 for Rafael Devers.
There we go.
I
just divided them all by 2.
Okay. Do I need to refresh?
No, I see them.
Divided all by 2. Okay. Gotcha. Yeah. So then you get a ratio, of the 2. But look at some of these other players. Trey Turner, top 10 player, Trey Turner. I have him for 42. I'm not keeping him. That's $12. I really like Trey Turner, but I have Geraldo Perdomo. He's not quite as good a player, but
you can get him again for less than $42 probably.
Well, maybe. There's
some guys for $42, so much the better. That's going to soak up some of the money. So it's a zero-sum game.
A number of these players. We got James Wood down here. He seems to be finally start hitting. I was starting to worry about him because he had a terrible spring following his terrible second half last year. But
I'm sure he's going to be fine. Can't worry about spring numbers.
Let's talk about Webb. You thought I might keep Webb. I would love to keep him, but I think 32.
How many innings is he going to get?
Well, I mean, he is a workhorse, right?
Yeah.
So
let's see here.
I don't think he racks up the strikeouts the way that someone like Sale or Pivetta do, like I have.
Yeah. He's going to be hovering right around 200 innings.
Yeah, he's an artist with that baseball.
13 to 16 wins.
He's one of those guys I love to watch pitch because he paints the corners. If you're going to get him, it's usually in the first inning for a run or two.
A low 3 ZRA, like a 117 whip.
Yeah. Well, I'd offered to trade him to you, but he's not a dollar. So
No, I would if he was out there in the pool, I would probably pay what do you have him for?
32.
I'd definitely pay 32 for him. Let me see what I've got him valued at. I've got him anywhere between $34.40 and $40.79.
I want to see how this 5x5 plays out because he will get about a strikeout an inning. He might strike out a little more, but
He's going to get 200-ish strikeouts.
Yeah,
190s, 200s.
Well, I haven't submitted my roster yet. Maybe you're talking me into it here, but all right, here we go.
109 whip last year. Wow.
Yeah, he's good. He's good. Let's see. Machado, I'm throwing him back in. Closers in our league are going to get they're like, look at this, $39 for Durant. For the draft, how do you pronounce his first name?
Did we lose it there? Are you talking about the reliever, Joan Duran or whatever?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Joan Duran. Yeah, I don't care.
It's kind of like John, but the H and the O are reversed.
Right. Well, for our viewers here, the ones that are zeroed out are guys.
I'll find out. There's a baseball pronunciation guide out there.
Okay. We'll Harry carry that thing. But like Austin Riley, for instance, he's a free agent. That's why he's at $0. He's definitely in the draft. Anybody at $0 means they're not currently being kept. Some of these guys that are being kept will be released after our cut down date on Sunday. And so after Sunday, we'll have a realistic idea of who is actually in the draft, and then we'll have 1 week to actually prepare for the draft.
It's Joan Duran.
Joan, okay. This is interesting. Marte at $16. I always like to see his value. I'm a fan. You're not so much of a fan. I know that. But
not a believer.
Not a believer, right? It's a better way to put it.
I mean, I'm a Reds fan. I hope he does well.
Yeah. But anyway, this is very helpful. He's
got a good price too, $23. Oh, Sean's got him, of course.
Who's that?
Oh, I'm looking at the wrong Marte. I'm looking at Kittel.
Well, I tell you what, our commissioner Sean, who started this league and is I don't know how many championships he's won, but it's need more than two hands to count.
More than anybody else, yeah.
His roster this year is uncanny for all the free agent pickups he made all year that are absolute studs or at least very promising young players like Augustin, the catcher for the Mars. Yeah, the catcher for the Mars. Augustin Ramirez. He's got him for $10. You probably can't keep him. He'll probably go back in the draft, but he's a very good. He might not. He might keep him. I don't know. But he has
here's who I've got Sean keeping. Okay. Ketel Marte. Oh, Ivan Herrera, Ketel Marte, Ellie De La Cruz, Luis Garcia Jr., Corbin Carroll, Brenton Doyle, Daniel Palencia, Robbie Ray, Trevor McGill, and Matthew Boyd.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Without having his team in front of me, I know he's got a lot of other guys. He's got like Cade Horton from the Cubs that had a very good year, but I don't expect him.
He's a free agent $10 guy.
Right. So yes, he just has a very solid number of.
He's going to keep Palencia as his free agent $10.
And that guy's filthy too. That guy he was closing for, I forget which WBC team he pitched for, but he's off the hook.
I traded him to Sean for some dollar guys when I was throwing in the towel.
Mm-hmm.
was that late June?
Sounds about right. Yeah, you kind of had a seismic shift in your strategy there.
Well, I wasn't going to finish anywhere near first place.
Yeah. Well,
and I did have I had a epiphany.
Yeah, I'm curious to see how it works out, but I prefer to look down on the issue rather than up at it. But we'll see how it goes.
Yeah. Did you finish second twice in?
Look,
still there?
There you go. I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing here.
Okay.
Did
you finish second twice in a row?
I don't think so. No, I finished third last year. And
so you're climbing the ladder.
Yeah. Okay, here we go.
And hopefully you get right there, but I step on your fingers right at the end and I get to the
top. It's ruthless. It really is. But why? Let's see. Well, what is going? Oh,
there we
go. Now let me get rid of. Why do we still have a third?
It's your screen.
Right, but I stopped sharing.
Yeah, it's there if you need it again, I guess.
Let's get rid of it.
There we go.
There we go. All right, so that's our rotisserie. Nobody gives a crap about our rotisserie team, but we're going to tell you about it every week anyway. But, maybe you'll get some kind of peripheral thrill from our successes or failures as the season progresses. But we do like to.
You'll just ridicule us for playing fairy tale baseball.
Yeah. Or you're playing checkers when you should be playing chess. You should be playing best ball. That's whatever. You guys are so old.
If it's an auction every month, it might be worth. I don't know. That'd be exhausting.
Yeah.
It would be that more than once a year.
Right. And then we'd have to meet those guys every month. How awful would that be? I'm already trying. Not like you know what I wanted. I've been wanting to mention this. The next No Kings rally is draft day.
Yeah, you'll miss one.
I'll miss one, but we'll see how that goes. I got a little bit of trepidation, but I've got a good state of mind about it. But all right, so we do like to go over some fun baseball stuff that's not quite so geeky. And I thought maybe top 10 players you have seen play in person would be a good subject to cover. So do you want to think about that, Aaron, while I do it, or you want to go first?
Joe Morgan.
Yeah.
Are we going to take turns, or are we going to do tens?
Okay, I'll match your. There's going to be a lot of reds here.
Okay, I'll try and do 10 here. Joe Morgan, Dwight Gooden.
Okay.
Nolan Ryan.
Yeah.
Joey Votto.
Oh, that's a good one.
Mike Schmidt.
Oh, I don't have that on my list, but I should have. I've got a signed Mike Schmidt baseball. I was a huge fan.
Dave Parker. What am I at? 6, 7?
5.
5.
Sorry.
Tom Seaver.
Yeah.
Johnny Bench.
Yeah.
I'm going to steal all your reds.
It's going to make it harder on me. You've picked some that I've already checked off on, but that's 7. So we got 3 more.
Ryan Sandberg.
Yeah.
Andre Dawson.
Oh, that guy could hit, boy. That guy was out of his mind. I mean, I saw him play a softball game when he was 65, and he hit one out of Riverfront Stadium, a softball.
Jesus Christ.
It was a Pete Rose softball game. It was insane.
What am I at? 8, 9?
9.
Just one more?
Yeah.
Could
be a closer.
Spins the die. Yeah.
Yeah.
Scary, most intimidating closer that I've seen in person. It's probably Gagne. Eric Gagne.
He had what was his streak? Like 80 something straight
He was
saves.
roided to the fucking gills, man.
Yeah, right. He probably had
He had like a notorious face off against Barry Bonds.
mhm.
And
And
did he strike him out? I don't even remember how it ended.
that's like when I think Barry Bonds, all I think of is line drives into the upper deck of Riverfront Stadium. It's like, I can't imagine him striking out against it's such a quiet, beautiful swing. I know he did, but I don't remember this exact.
No, it was a 2-run home run to center field on a 2-2 fastball.
Yeah, but you're right though. Gagne.
April 16th, 2004.
Okay, so he's with the Giants by then.
No, he was a Dodger. Bonds was a Giant.
Yeah, right. That's what I meant. Bonds, a Giant.
Into McCovey Cove.
I think Gagne had a post-Dodger career, but it wasn't very.
Gagne still got the save.
No, did he? I had him, by the way. I did draft him. I did have him during that streak. So
yeah.
So I don't feel bad about it, even though he's a juicer. All right. So my 10. I tried to avoid some of the ones that you picked, but I'm gonna go Lou Brock, Ichiro. I saw the Mariners play the Reds when Ichiro was there. Of course, Ken
never
Griffey.
saw Ichiro.
Yeah, that was I remember thinking I better remember this because he had 2,000 hits in Japanese baseball already, and he was inching towards 3,000 when I saw him. I was like, that's a lot of fucking hits.
Yeah.
It's like this guy can play baseball.
He blew on by.
Yeah. And he's one of these guys that said, well, if I knew that people wanted me to hit home runs, I'd just do it. Right.
Yeah.
And in batting practice, he say he's one of the most impressive batting practice hitters in the world because he just, he hit balls into the seats all day long, and everybody thinks he's just a slap hitter or whatever.
Yeah. Easier to do in batting practice than in a game. That's why
that's true.
He just gets hits.
Yeah. Right.
His arm, man, that laser strike from Ichiro.
Well, I used to love the way the announcer would say, Ichiro.
Yeah.
Whatever.
What's his name? Riz? Something. Yeah. Rick Riz?
Yeah. Ichiro. Steve Carlton.
Good one.
Ken Griffey Jr.
Another good one.
Of course. I'll say Aaron Judge.
I don't think I've seen him in person.
Remember when I threw out the first pitch?
Yeah. I've never seen the Yankees in person, I don't think.
Yeah. Well, I got to hang out on the field so I could see into the dugout and stuff. So I was pretty close to Judge. He was
beast.
Humongous. Yeah. I'm going to say, Ozzie Smith.
Good one.
Play a lot. Now it's getting rough because I don't want to take up the Reds. I'm going to say Willie Stargell.
Good one.
I saw him play. Really, let's see.
Tim Raines, Ricky Henderson. I saw Ricky Henderson play.
I've never seen Henderson play in person.
I saw him at Old Comiskey, the last year of Old Comiskey, 1990.
Okay.
And it wasn't an official game. It was rained out in like the fourth. But it was like 10-1 A's.
Well, he was somewhat controversial because of his ego, but he's just one of the greatest he is the greatest leadoff man of all time. There's no doubt about it.
Rest in peace.
I'm going to say this, even though I don't know. No, that's cheating. But I did see Willie. I'm going to say I did see Willie Mays in person at the ballpark, and just seeing him, even though he was in a
ballpark. You didn't see him play.
No. But just to see him in a golf cart just kind of blew my mind.
Yeah.
riding around in a golf cart. But I still got 3 to go here. So let's see.
Andres Galarraga, man.
I'm gonna say Rock Raines though, because you brought up Tim Raines. I wouldn't put Galarraga in there. A very good player.
Against the Reds, though, man, it seemed like he was a killer.
Yeah. He was. But
I feel like I left so many games disappointed. Oh, Will Clark.
Yeah.
Another Reds killer.
Yeah. I got 2 more here. That was a good one. Gooden. Let's see. Some of these guys are the careers.
Strawberry, Eric Davis.
Yeah. I'm going to take Eric Davis. And Barry Larkin. There you go, 10.
Barry Larkin.
My Reds saved me. I was sweating it out because I had Johnny Bench and I had Morgan. And did either of us say Pete Rose?
No.
Holy shit. Well, Pete Rose belongs on that list. I know, we got feelings about Pete.
Yeah. He does. We skipped school to see him the day he came back.
Right. And that was awesome. He hit that gapper against the Cubs, went around the bases, did the belly flop. He didn't, do his thoracic, he didn't blow out his knee like a Suzuki or whatever. He did it right. And that was one of my favorite moments. And so I always have fond memories of him. It's too bad the train wreck didn't turn out to be.
Too bad that even before then he'd been statutorily raping.
Exactly.
But we didn't know.
We didn't know. All right. So this is our final segment. We're entering the 9th inning now. And this is it's going to be our closers by committee, always be closing segment.
A, B, C. A, always, B, C, closing. Always be closing. Always be closing.
All right.
One of those Brad Lidge.
It may have been. And you know what? Some of those, there's 3 clips there, and I don't think all 3 of them are closing situations, but
it doesn't matter.
I just like the reaction of the pitcher.
Yeah.
Through one to through down his glove.
It just had that Brad Lidge feel to it.
Yeah. Back when if you had Brad Lidge, they had to talk you down from the ledge at one point. He was an adventure.
Talk you down from the Brad Ledge.
Yeah. So I brought 2 interesting closer situations, and these are types of situations that are going to come up all season long, and that's when a traditional closer, like both of these teams had guys that they acquired to be their closer and paying them like their closers, but they're unavailable because they're injured right now. So the bullpens are kind of in turmoil. And those, I'm going to start with the first team. Man, that was so beautifully done. But really, the Brewers, McGill has a little bit of an injury, but I don't think that has any bearing on his status right now. But it is a contested bullpen. Talking about the Milwaukee Brewers. We have Trevor McGill. He's kind of the incumbent, but he's coming off an injury last year. This guy is 6'8", throws gas, maxes out about 98, 99 miles per hour. His four-seam fastball, plus he's right on top of you because of his frame. He's got this devastating knuckle curve. The knuckle curve gets a 56.8 swing and miss rate, so it's a highly effective strikeout pitch. Sean has him, of course, for like $2 in our league. Mm-hmm. But he's the incumbent. He's probably going into the season as the closer. He has one minor issue, and that is that he gets great velocity on his fastball, but it's not necessarily unhittable. And are you okay?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. It's not necessarily unhittable.
I muted when I farted.
No, you didn't. That got in. But it's not unhittable, but he has trouble getting it over the plate as well. So sometimes he'll come in and struggle to get his fastball over the plate, and he needs that fastball. He needs to be able to establish that fastball in order to make his knuckle curve so effective. So if he says, if you have any issue with McGill, that might be it, you know. And the thing is, he's got somebody standing in line behind him who is more than capable of taking over that job, and that's Abner Uribe.
Yeah. He closed the season with a 9-game scoreless streak.
Yeah.
Closed it against the Reds.
Well, the
Shut
Reds
him
used
down.
to beat him occasionally, or beat that team occasionally, but not so much anymore. They get their asses kicked by the Brewers every year. But
Yeah. So he had a win, 3 saves, 2 holds, and a 0.56 whip.
Okay.
Is that during? Oh, it's during that streak.
During that streak, right? I didn't think there were overall numbers, but his overall numbers were still good.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, hopefully he'd have more than 3 saves and 2 holds and a win.
Yeah. Well, his fastball can reach 100 miles per hour.
Yeah.
And his sinker, he throws a sinker that's 98 miles an hour. So it doesn't look that much different than his fastball, and it just dives at the feet of the hitter. I mean, you got to commit to it because it's so coming in so hard. But he's really a really good. So they list them in most sites as co-closers at this point. I feel like McGill will probably have the job going into the season. But if he struggles at all with these issues with his fastball, like he has in the past, to any degree at all, it's going to be tempting to turn to Uribe at some point.
Yeah. Closer Monkey has first in line, second in line, 2027 closer. So it's first and closer. Closer's McGill. First in line's Abner Uribe. Second in line's Jared Koenig. 2027 closer's Abner Uribe.
Yeah, I think people kind of look at it that way, and not that the Brewers might be in contention. Didn't they trade last year Devin Williams before the deadline, even though they were in contention?
Yeah,
I think they did. So, there's that chance that they could deal from the top of the deck because they do have some pretty good guys past Uribe. They got Jared Koenig.
Yeah. They might have too many rotation guys too who could stick somebody in the bullpen.
They've become a really good. It's been for a while now. It's not a surprise. They're a really good organization, and they put together these parts of their teams that other teams try to piece together every winter and come up with a mess.
Yeah.
They've got a really good bullpen.
They've got the same problem as the Reds, so they can't do it in the postseason.
Right. Yeah, that's true. But I think that they want McGill to do it because Uribe is a little bit more. At one point last year, I don't know if it finished this way, but he led all relievers in innings pitched.
He finished with the 9-game scoreless streak.
9 innings and the job because McGill was unavailable.
Yeah.
So I feel like the hierarchy will not change because they look at Uribe as somebody that's more dynamic, that can come in early in the game, get out of jams.
Put him in the fireman role. Yeah.
Yeah.
Plus, you want to pump up McGill's stats if you're going to deal him at the deadline.
Right. So I feel like that. The other guys, I don't think anybody else is really a threat to do that unless there's a catastrophe, and but those two guys are left out in the cold. So we can talk about the Astros here a little bit.
They're both righties, right? Or is Abner Uribe a lefty?
No, they're both righties.
Okay. So it says matchup-based bullpen for this one.
Well, maybe the splits favor one of them over against lefties versus the other or something. But the Houston Astros, We got Joe Espada as their manager. They have Josh Hader, who has the what do they call it? The Scarlet. They don't call it the Scarlet Letter, do they? Whatever. He's the anointed.
Is he an adulterer?
Well, he may be. He's got kind of
So he gets that letter A then. Yeah, the big red A.
But he's a closer, right? He's like that. That's what he writes on his checks. That's how he has his maid service and now talk to him. But he is a closer, so that's what they hired him to do.
He's an injured closer, though.
He's an injured closer, exactly. That's what I'm getting at. So the job is kind of wide open right now. Not wide open. It's really fallen to Brian Abreu, who will close in Hader's place. And this guy is like an elite setup man. 2-pitch pitcher, 97 mile per hour fastball and a slider. He'll be fine. He'll do fine in the role, I think. But I don't think Hader will lose the job so long as he comes back from this thoracic surgery healthy. So I wouldn't break the bank on Abreu. I don't know what. It all depends on the salary structure of your league, but if the strikeouts will be there with Abreu, even if he doesn't get the saves. If you get, for holds, it'll be there. I have no idea. I could only speculate what a good price would be on, like a mixed league for Abreu, but it'd be one of the best relievers out there on the board in the American League.
Yeah, and the guy behind him, Brian King, had a 10-game scoreless streak last September.
Oh wow! Well, they got a weird setup
with a slightly lower WHIP than whoever we were just talking about, Abner Uribe.
Yeah. Well, they got a very weird setup, in that they've got not only Hader, but like Brian King, Bennett Souza, and Steve Okert. They're all lefties too. They got lefties out the wazoo. There are teams that don't have any lefties or one lefty. So, but I'm sure the splits on some of those guys are really good against right-handed hitters. So I think that it's Hader's job so long as he's healthy. Abreu's going to be valuable no matter what. He'll probably pick up some saves if they rest Hader when he comes back occasionally. So
they arrest Hader?
Yeah, for his indiscretions from back when he was in high school, I guess, and left all that shit on his Twitter.
You're under arrest.
All right. Well, damn. We always fill an hour, it seems like. Any parting thoughts, Aaron? Any?
No, I was just curious how long Hader's going to be out. What's his injury?
He's the one that has the thoracic or whatever.
Hader's got thoracic outlet syndrome too.
Yeah, I think so.
Hader. Why is he not showing up? Oh.
Nothing like having our.
There he is. Yeah. Biceps inflammation.
Oh, biceps inflammation. You're right. That's it. Now you're our medical advisor. That's your new segment, is the medical report.
So all right. I don't know what that. He injured it last month. I don't see any.
Probably throwing a baseball, I imagine.
Yeah. Could be nothing.
Yep. All right, Aaron. It's been a pleasure.
All right. Cheers.
All right. You have a good night, man.
See you. Good luck with your cuts and keepers.
You too.